Yo, what up, people? How y'all doing? Damn, okay. What's up, people? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Missing a file. It's kind of an important file. Let me grab that real quick.
Most news shows are suspect. They don't focus on Black issues, and when they do, it's all fluff. How does that help your life? How does that help your family? How does that help the culture? They don't. The Tim Black Show is different. Tim Black gives you news for people who can't stand the news. Real, authentic, researched, entertaining, on point. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Visit www.timblacktv.com today. Get Black breaking news, politics, culture from someone you can trust. timblacktv.com. Join us today.
Yo. All right, people, what's happening? What's happening? Welcome back to the show. My name is Tim Black. Tim Black Show, Sunday night, Monday morning. It is what it is. What's going on, my people, my people, my people? Man, it's all good. What is up? Hey, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. I'm coming to join you, honey. All right, my moderators are back. Black Mamba, Ebony, and Buck. What up? All right. Yo. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man here. I'm looking at all the Tim Black Wolfpack members, man. Thank y'all for being Wolfpack members. Thank you for supporting the content. Thank you for being a part of the community. It is important. Thank you. Yo, I'm looking through. Where is that? Is that it? Was that there the whole time? What is that? Not yet. So, man, we're doing what we do on a Sunday. If you're new to the channel, this is the U.S. Politics channel. Breaking news, Black Culture channel. And so I hadn't produced this yet. Okay, fine, Johnson, fine. Get in the lineup. That's not in the lineup? Oh, it'll be there. So what's happening, man? You guys okay? Is everybody okay? How's the weekend went? How was that weekend? Was it fast enough for you? I hope so, man. I hope you had time to enjoy it, though, if you were off. And if you were working, I hope you didn't do anything crazy. Yeah, man, I'm hoping you didn't do anything crazy, man. I don't know what it is about TikTok, man. TikTok is disturbing. TikTok is a very disturbing platform, man. I don't know why people talk about how great it is. I don't know if they pay attention to the content. Fam, I'm trying to tell you. If you got anything going on in your life, if you got any worries or paranoias or phobias, do not go to TikTok at night. Is it just me? Is there a lot of like deformities and ailments and disasters? Is it just me? But they got a lot of that, and I didn't ask for any of it. You know, on some platforms you go, you look at something a couple times, you get more of it. TikTok just give you stuff, just because I know I didn't sign up for mysterious diseases on my timeline. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm on TikTok because people are there. You know what I'm saying? I'm but I'm just saying, man, there's some crazy stuff on TikTok, man. Oh man, it's too much, man. I'm trying to tell you. I'm up at 4:00 in the morning, right? You know what I'm saying? Got things on my mind, you know. You know what I'm saying? Brain won't cut off. I'm listening to a Mr. Beast interview. First Mr. Beast interview I ever really listened to. More on that later. Or maybe not, I don't know. If I can weave back to it, maybe I will. But I'm looking now, I'm like, man, what is this mess? You know, I'm looking and it's crazy. I don't want to see nobody with the man-eating bacteria. I didn't put this, and there'd be people on there with half a face that's, hi, always been this way. I mean, I don't want to see this. It'd be a dad who's got 20 minutes to live, just talking. It'd be a wife who was married to a guy who had 20 minutes to live. Now she's up there. Him, you know, I saw a mother with her dead child, holding the child. This was our last dance. I don't want to see this shit. People don't know what to put on social media, man. What was once reserved for family, friends, and jealous, haters, or I don't know, you know what I'm saying? What was once reserved for family, friends, close acquaintances, co-workers, that was Facebook. Now the whole world get to see it. Just everybody, man, fam, I'm trying to tell you, man, what's going on now is just horrible, man. And I'm telling you, it's not healthy. Sherry Covington, it's not healthy. It is not healthy. It ain't right. I'm trying to tell you. Premium says, I like YouTube. Well, YouTube's a little different. Tobias says, I got too many damn platforms, Timberlake. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so look, man, I think that what's happening, I'm gonna make the case for this, Johnson. I believe that there's a certain amount of social engineering going on with these platforms. And I also believe that these platforms encourage horrible things that happen in the real world. You know what I'm saying? I think there are a lot of horrible things people would do, or they wouldn't do them if they didn't have an audience to do them and share it with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it gives people the idea that, oh, I can do this crazy thing, and then it'll be immortalized forever on this platform. And my name will ring out. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that only encourages like people to do things. I was watching the clip. News, I don't know, somebody was reporting on this McDonald's worker, a mother of like 4. I don't know what city or what state it was in, but I'm sure somebody here heard of the story. Apparently, she was a manager at this McDonald's, and she had an employee. And one of the employees that worked under her shift or whatever was upset about her treatment at the job. Now, I don't know what kind of treatment at the job she was receiving, but apparently it was bad because she had been on her TikTok leaving messages about how horrible her manager was. Now, manager wasn't like groping her or propositioning her or abusing her physically or anything like that, you know, but she just didn't like her, you know? And the manager had like sent her home a couple times. And on this particular day, she sent the worker home. The worker goes home for about 5 minutes. And then she comes back to the job. But when she comes back to the job, she comes in a mask. And they knew it was her only because she didn't have her arms, her hands covered, so evidently she's got like tattoos on her hands or something, and other coworkers knew it was her. This employee, because she wasn't fired, she just was sent home doing her shift, this employee proceeded to stab the manager to death in the McDonald's, to stab her in front of everybody. She didn't wait till the store closed or nothing, just everybody. Would you like some murder to go with that value meal? The shake machine's out of order, but this knife ain't. And she's stabbing this woman around the McDonald's. I saw one of the employees on the report. A reporter was talking to her. She was like, I tried to stop her. I knew it was her because I could see it was her hands, was her. I said, that shoe, don't do this. Stop. And I couldn't stop her because she had a knife. And I went to get help. And she just stabbed this woman everywhere and killed her. Folks, I do not believe this would have happened. I don't believe it would have happened if she didn't have TikTok, if she didn't have a platform that she could chronicle her, because she's all the time she's talking to her audience like, yeah, I'm tired of putting up with stuff, and they're gonna push me one more time, and I'm gonna go crazy. And her eyes didn't look right. Her eyes was like, yeah, one more time, yeah, and I'm a nice person, and I don't have to put up with this. She would never blink. I don't have to put up with this. I'm like, nobody knew something was wrong with her? So I don't know, man. It's just horrific, man. First, my condolences to the mom who lost her life. She's a mother of 4. Her children came up to the store. There was a press conference or reporters there. One of the daughters was talking about that was our mom. We loved our mom. And I don't know. We even know the worker. My mom is at this McDonald's for 10 years. This employee had been there for whatever amount of time. And we know her. We met her. She know us as kids. We come up to the McDonald's. We spoke to her. We talked. We thought, why would she take our mother from us? Folks, I'm trying to say, man, something wrong with this world, man. I'm like, we already knew something was wrong with it, but I'm saying it's just getting worse, man. So I'm watching all this, and I'm thinking to myself, it was a couple. Not just the fact that there's a mother gone, children their father, they say, is incarcerated, so now they have to go live with relatives or whatever. I don't know how that's going to work out. Then the woman, the murderer, is now on trial for murder, whatever. It's being held on that, being charged with that. And obviously, if she's not ruled insane, she'll be guilty of that because it's on camera. We know. Well, yeah, they had footage. Unless she says it wasn't her. I mean, how are you gonna? She gone. Her life's over. And there are people in the comment section. This is where it really gets bad. If it wasn't bad enough, here goes the real bad part. There are people in the comment section defending the killer. Man, everybody don't need internet, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Defending the killer, saying, well, everybody's had a job where the manager was sending them home. It's hard to get your hours. You know what I'm saying? You can't get your hours, so you gotta, sometimes it push you too far. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying it's okay what you did, but I'm saying I understand when people are sending you home from work early. What? That's what we doing? You couldn't just call corporate? Man, she don't own McDonald's. See an employee like you. You couldn't just call corporate and be like, hey, this manager is a pain in the ass, like something. You couldn't just ask to be transferred to another McDonald's. I'm just saying you got options, right? This is not no spare the moment thing. You've been working with this, you've been at this McDonald's, employed by this McDonald's for who knows how long. You've been putting on here about, about the problems. You go home, get the knife, come back, stab. I don't know, man. If you go home and get your knife and come back and stab somebody who's unarmed, that's pretty open and shut. The only reason why you probably haven't heard about it is because they were both black. Yeah, if one of them would have been white, if the stabber would have been white, you might have heard about it, but it'd be like, oh, what the big mean black manager do? And if, and if the victim would have been white, it'd have been like, see, we can't trust you. All the crimes ever committed in America made by black people, see? You do know them FBI statistics are about arrests, right? They don't count exonerations, of which we are 54%, 58%, something like that. You're not counting that part. Anyway, man, it's just horrible, man. I just thought I'd point that out to get the show started. All right, let's go with the show. Yeah, let's go with the show. This show is brought to you by the Tim Black Legacy Mug, available at timblackmug.com. Go pick yours up today. For some reason, sales have slowed. My drinking hasn't. Go get yours. timblackmug.com. $20 to your door. Also, if you like merch, I got merch, baby. Go to timblackpause.com for Tim Black Show merch. Want to support the channel but don't feel good just giving money? Fine, buy something. It's another way. You get something, I get something, we do. Before we go any further, let me first say, let me add, this channel is officially over the 200,000 follower count. That's right. This show has officially surpassed 200,000 followers or subscribers. And I want to thank everybody who subscribed to the YouTube channel here on the Tim Black Show. I want to thank everybody who's been here. Big shout out to my brother Iron Man Oz. Iron Man Oz said, Tim Black, I've been with you since you were at less than 5,000 subscribers. That's like, damn, bro, that's right. It's only been 12 years. Yeah. I want to thank everybody who's been riding with the show. Our moderators, Buck Bewley, Black Mamba, Ebony. Thank you, 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 party people. Man, I'm trying to tell you. And of course, the amazing Mrs. Black. I'd also like to thank my kids. Yeah, one time or another in this incredible journey, my oldest son, TJ, my youngest son, Chase, my grandbabies, Naomi, Nailani, Nadia have participated or been in videos. The two youngest are featured in the video, the intro and the outro. So the outro. So yeah, man, it's been a family endeavor here. Yeah, I want to thank everybody that's been holding me down, man. Shout out to the Reset Race group who shouted me out on X or Twitter. I appreciate y'all. And yeah. Yeah, man. All right. You know, I'm still coming up with how to officially celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? How to officially kind of commemorate it. But I gotta tell you, a part of me was like, nah. Yeah, yesterday, you know, I was like, you know, I should be happier about this. It's for like another day in the office, kind of. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I felt that way. Maybe, I don't know, because things still aren't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. It is what it is. You know, there's a streamer on whose primary, you know, platform is Twitch, who's also does YouTube. That has about 30 million subscribers. I don't know. It's like, you know, I don't know, maybe I should be happier about it. I'm not saying I feel bad about it, but I don't know. I thought I'd be, you know, I just looked at the rest of the hill like, I don't know if I can do this to try. Yeah, maybe it doesn't matter as much as I thought it would. Yeah, maybe it's about doing something you believe in and something that you feel helps the world in some way. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the focus, not the numbers, because there's always more numbers. You know? But I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for supporting this channel and coming through and checking it out and sharing content with other people. Hopefully that's the point, man, to spread the word, let people know, and give people a deeper understanding in all these issues that we cover, you know, because my takes are not mainstream media takes. I may use mainstream media because I can't afford to fly around the country and film it myself, but typically I don't go along with the mainstream media take. And though a broken clock is right twice a day, I do have even when I agree, I have my own spin. You guys ready for some content? I hope so, man. Yeah. So what say you, America? What is the goings on, America? Yeah, Johnson. Let's get the night started, fam. It is something else. And with that, the Tim Black Show commences. I need to get that out of here. I don't even use that.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Good morning, everyone. A report out this morning finds a massive waste of U.S. dollars spent during the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Commission on Wartime Contracting says as much as $60 billion has been eaten up by fraud and waste in those two countries over the last 10 years. They blame lax oversight, poor planning, and widespread corruption. One proposed solution, the creation of an inspector general to monitor contracting.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there for you, kind of put things in perspective. You know, whenever I'm talking about Black Americans and how we got hosed in this country and how we got hosed in this country, how we getting hosed in our country. I'd like to point out the $60 billion that America just threw away in Iraq and Afghanistan. Yeah, because whenever I talk about, hey, you know, hey, really no GI Bill. You know what I'm saying? No 40 acres in a mule. We had multiple Wall Streets that were destroyed with the help of the federal government. Gentrification. We had our farms taken over by eminent domain. They took our farms. A lot of things people don't know about. Then redlining, gentrification, displacement. Yeah, a lot of things happen. So I say, investing in the black community might be a good idea, a way to spend money in a way that comes back. I mean, if you invest in the people that are in the country, unlike some people, we don't send the money overseas, we spend it here. For some reason, it's still not a very popular, policy. Hence, just getting the 200,000. But every once in a while, I just want to point out, 60 billion went in Afghanistan. It didn't come back here. Yeah, if you hook Leroy up with a grant for his food truck, he'll probably sell oxtail tacos right here or oxtail pizza. That's kind of big here in the PG County area. Oxtail pizza, which was all right. It's all right, Point is, I can't take a lot of the gripes and complaints about my ideas seriously because we blow money all the time. We blow money all the time, and in ways that are not being really investing to come back here. So I just thought I'd point that out to my detractors. To my detractors who always have something to say. What say you about this $60 billion? Yeah, no. They'd rather spend the money blowing up other countries than repairing people they blew up here. That's crazy, man. And when you wrap your head around it and accept it, even your friends don't get it. They say they do not. And then not even the fucking balls, the ethics to say, you know what, you're right. I don't know shit. I don't get it. They'll double and triple down on not getting it because they don't want to be wrong. Even when everything I spit, all the facts I spit, they don't want to admit to all of them, to any of them. And that's what it is to have friends. Next topic. But in the end of the day, isn't she wonderful? Isn't she beautiful? You ain't tell me Malice was 53. I didn't know he was 53, man. How you gonna be 53 and rap like that, son? Damn. Anyway, guys, I'm talking about the clips. I just didn't know that. Andre 2000 said he don't want to rap no more because he's too old. Have you looked? Have you paid attention to these people that are rapping? Used to be hip hop was a young man's sport. Now it's an old man's sport. And it's better than ever with the old men's sport. Come on now. 50 Cent is 50. Andre, you 45. You were basically just getting started. Bring back the rapping Duke. What is he, 83? Bring him in here. Da ha, da ha. Da ha, 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 ha. Yeah, man. I remember hearing that joint. I was like, hey, listen to this, Moose. Listen to this. Da ha, ha, ha. He sound like John Wayne. Yeah, man. Y'all have to forgive me, man. We're going to have a good time tonight, man. Because we're just having conversations. This is not a news show. I cover the news. This ain't a news show. Can't you tell? I got on a Hawaiian shirt. And I'm not in Hawaii. You know what I was thinking the other day, and it's kind of bothered Mrs. Black. Yeah, Mrs. Black was upset when I told her this, but I'm going to share with you because I want you to be upset too. And this is something that kind of dawned on me because I'm a fan of comedians. I don't consider myself a full-fledged comedian because I only toured for a short period of time. But I did write my own sets, my own jokes, and perform them live in front of an audience. And I did it for money, so I am a professional. And I did go to more than one city. Here goes my point. I remember people saying that Richard Pryor didn't like Eddie Murphy because Eddie Murphy was the up-and-coming comedian. And he was going to take Richard's slot. And, you could understand maybe, some people have insecurities. But they say, hey, Richard was Richard Pryor. Why would you be concerned about a guy? You have done it all. You are the man, Richard. Why would you be that way? There's a rumor that they were at a club and Eddie was performing and Rich sat in the front row and just looked at him the whole time. Like, okay, like. Eddie up there. And Rich is like, this motherfucker. Here. And he was stone facing them and not really giving them any love. Anyway, the point was, well, it turns out I think it was partly due to the fact that Eddie just showed up, and since he was the new guy, they just want to give him some mic time, and he wasn't scheduled to be there. And I think Richard was the headliner. So that would happen in any genre. And that's pretty much where the pedestrian level goes on this. These are things everyone said, but here goes something I noticed. I don't know if people remember a bit that Eddie Murphy did back in the 80s. It was about John Wayne. Y'all know that? And he's talking about John Wayne, and at this time I think John Wayne had, John Wayne had cancer or something. He's like, John Wayne was a bad boy, wasn't he? He's so bad, John Wayne kicked cancer's ass. He's like, get the hell out of here, cancer. Get out of here. That was sort of the joke, and everybody laughed. Well, I don't think Richard Pryor laughed because John Wayne was a hell of a racist. I know this because Chuck D and Public Enemy said it back in like 1989 or something. And I'm pretty sure Richard Pryor was thinking, this young motherfucker, he talking about John Wayne like John Wayne ain't John Wayne. How you gonna mention this motherfucker and not mention he don't like, And he's over there. Buddy, how you gonna walk the pole? Meanwhile, Eddie's sitting over there just worried about putting money in his pocket, young and coming up, and he ain't getting bogged down in no things like fighting for black people. When was the last time Eddie said anything about black people ever? See what I'm saying? Sometimes we get caught up in stuff. We don't look at really what we, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, I remember Richard being a brother who was very conscious. And he took you on this trajectory of him becoming conscious, coming from where he came from to where he was and going into that. Remember the whole thing about him not using the N-word, like learning and going to Africa and being around black people or African people. And it's like, damn, there was no ends. Well, I ain't gonna never call a black man another. And again, never gonna use that term again. And I'm just saying, he was conscious. Eddie was not, is not, whatever will not be. And what I'm saying is, I know everyone can't be conscious. I know that, but if you was the guy who was willing to be that guy that would bring up these types of issues, and you got this young bastard coming up behind you who will glorify a person that can't stand black people and bring him up in his set and not mention these things, then I guess I could see why other people want to just say it was jealousy. I just think maybe it was more to it than that. I don't know. I didn't have the privilege of meeting Richard Pryor. But I can just tell you how I feel when I hear people up here talking about Charlamagne the God and shows. And I think, Charlamagne the God is one of the biggest people in black media. One of the biggest in black media. And when's the last time he talked about anything substantive on that podcast he does with his friend Strolls? Never talks about reparations or black people liberation unless it's a Democratic talking point, maybe to help Kamala or some shit. When was the last? He never uses a platform for that. And then I think about all the people that have given me shit, people that I know don't like me, that have set up roadblocks for me, people like Killer Mike, people like Charlemagne, and others like them, you know what I'm saying, who I know for a fact have done these things, who've had not a kind word, a good word to say about me. And then I think about Richard Pryor. Yeah, I think about Richard Pryor. And I think about Eddie Murphy. And I think about these cornballs, these sellouts with humongous platforms. And when they can talk about anything, they can say anything about the power structure. What do? They fold right into that mofo. They fold right into it. And then I don't know, man, so I said all this to Mrs. Black. And she just shook her head and said, Dad, I didn't even know about the John Wayne joke. Wasn't even that funny. I said it wasn't, baby, it wasn't. But you know, hey, what do I know? She said, why do you think Killer Mike don't like you? Didn't he interview with you? I said, yeah, but that time I asked him that question. Right after he went out and he was chiding black people for being upset about Cop City. And he told them to shut up, be quiet, go back in the house because black businesses in Atlanta. He didn't like that I asked him that. He thought I was punching above my weight class to ask him that. It was insulting to him. And I explained it. What good is bringing important people on your platform and everybody's wondering about that question? You come at that time, I got to ask you that question, or I ain't shit, and I'll refuse. I shouldn't have to explain that. You would think that would make people respect you more. When they do out-of-pocket shit or questionable shit, and when you do your job and you ask them tough questions, because that's that's the gig. Just like he's building his audience, no one would expect him to come out here and do sellout lyrics. Well, if you come on my platform and I don't ask you important questions, I'm kind of selling out. You know what I'm saying? Don't mind me. I'm just being honest. Sometimes you wonder why the chicken crossed the road. Then you found out it was because the egg had a gun. All right, you guys ready for it? Let's go. Let's keep going, Johnson. I got more content. It's Sunday, Sizzling Sunday. Booyah.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Some of the unrest that's happening in and around the ICE agents as well. Officials are looking for a suspect who appeared to fire a gun at a federal agent during a raid. A few days before that, 10 people were arrested after opening fire outside an immigration detention facility in Texas, injuring a police officer. Authorities say it was a planned ambush. Earlier this week, a man with a rifle and tactical gear was shot dead after firing at Texas Border Patrol, at least the facility. Are you worried that heated rhetoric around this and around the policies are actually putting law enforcement agents at risk?
First, let me just denounce any violence against law enforcement is unacceptable. Do I think heated rhetoric is, part of what's causing this response? Sadly, yes. And we've seen this administration escalate in all ways and manners, whether it's the tactics with which they're going about immigration enforcement. There's a smarter, more effective way to do this than what they're doing.
Well, they say that.
Did y'all see that shit? Y'all see what they just did? She's like, yo, activists against deportation try to kill some cops. These are terrorists. They try to get potential cop killers. Had loads of ammunition. They shot at cops and even shot one of them. Do you think some of the rhetoric surrounding, is adding to it? He said, yeah, Trump's. No, they didn't shoot at the immigrants. They shot at the cops. Y'all get what I'm saying? It's the other way. Just making a note. Guess it didn't, Joe.
It's the Democrats' rhetoric, some calling ICE agents secret police, comparing them to the Gestapo.
Well,
look at this. It's like they got gangs. Look at
that. It's
she clears it up. She says, no, not Trump's rhetoric, yours. Look at his face. He's going to get pissed. Like, what the hell? All of a sudden, Alejandro's not going to be too friendly. Look at his face.
Going about immigration enforcement, there's a smarter, more effective way to do this than what they're doing.
Well, they say that it's the Democrats' rhetoric, some calling ICE agents secret police, comparing them to the Gestapo.
Well, I wouldn't use those words, but I do have concern when there are no requirements for ICE agents or other federal agents involved with the immigration enforcement actions to not even identify themselves. I mean, if you're a member of a working class immigrant community and you see unmarked cars roll into your community, people getting out of those cars with no identifiers that they are law enforcement.
You know there are jump outs coming to get your ass. That's what you know. Like when I was black in a neighborhood, because I've always been black, but when I was like an inner city, like really in the hood, I'm hood adjacent now because I'm old. I wish that for you. We knew the Jump Out Boys when we saw them. Yeah, we knew the Jump Out Boys when the Jump Out Boys came. They don't come in marked cars. What the? Alejandro Padilla. They've been Jump Out Boys in America forever. Where you been, sir? When you was back in the SA, when you were on the streets of California, kicking it with your amigos, and then they called, put up, and then they jump out. Did you be like, oh, feds? Now you're saying that these people are so slow. What is that? Wonder if it's the cartel. Maybe they think it's the cartel. Maybe they think it's zombies. I don't know. What do you think they think it is? Yeah, this argument that if cops don't show that they're, like if a group of white guys in these vehicles come out and they come into the Latinos, you can't put two and two together. What do you think it is? The Close Encounters of the Body Snatchers or some shit? What are you trying to say it is? What do you think it is? I'm just saying with this argument, these people don't understand that these are jump outs from ICE or Department of Homeland Security. It's like crazy to me. Like they never had to like we weren't never like, oh man, those jump out boys that came out, we knew they were feds. Feds, sheriffs, or plainclothes, whatever they were, they was a part of the cops. And we never got to say, well, we didn't know who they were. You know, and we're not talking about people getting shot. We're just saying when they get detained, they're like, I don't even know. I thought they were sent from who? I'm trying to understand who you think it is. How many people do you owe money to? They did just jumping out of cars in your neighborhood coming to get you. Like for what? What are you all doing? Are y'all extorting people and they got the mafia hitting y'all or something? Like, what is it that you think's going on? I mean, you can't tell me at this point in time. Maybe you could have floated this back when Trump first took office, because some of you were so jarred that someone was doing their job with deportations or detentions or detainments. But come on, you had to have a TV. At least, if you ain't got a TV, you got a phone. And if you ain't got a phone, you see somebody else with a phone. You have walked by someone watching a clip about deportations and detainments and about ICE raids. So how are people being able to act as if, oh no, I didn't know what was going on? Isn't that the whole problem? The whole thing y'all complaining about is ICE raids? Now you're saying when an ICE raid happened, you don't know it's an ICE raid. Well, I'm gonna have to ask you, I'm gonna have to submit this, man. And I just want you to consider it. If you are ever caught in the middle of an ICE raid and you don't know it was an ICE raid, that wasn't much of an ICE raid. Understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like being in a fight and not even know you in one. Happens all the time with the wife. You know what I'm saying? You think you just having a conversation. Didn't know we were we arguing. So we're just having a conversation. Why am I on the couch? Why am I getting cut off? What'd I do? I don't have these problems now. But I'm just saying that, once upon a time, we've all had experiences. I'm just trying to make sense of it, man. Let's go back to Alejandro Padilla. And I'm calling him Alejandro because that's his real name. It's not Jose. It's Alejandro Padilla. Now, for some reason, Alejandro Padilla doesn't go by Alejandro Padilla. But now that he got apprehended, detained at their press conference, all of a sudden he's on TV. Never been on TV before. He's been a senator since Kamala ran 18 months ago, some shit, 12, 13. And it took for that incident that no one says was fabricated, no one says was intentional, for you to even see this guy anywhere, ever. Now, he on MSNBC and CNN. Alejandro Padilla. Yeah, I always have like a little bit of residual disrespect for people that don't use it, who are immigrants who shorten their name, right? They shorten their names so that they can avoid discrimination, and then they claim to be discriminated against. I just don't. I don't get it, man. I tell a story all the time about a guy I work with. I thought his name was Joe. It was until I had to reset his passwords 2.5 years later to find out his name was Jose. And he had a minority contract with the feds. A minority contract with the government agency. Anyway, let's keep going, Johnson. It is what it is. Because of all the discrimination he faced. Yeah, Tim Black got stories. Let's go ahead and get him, Mr. Alejandro Padilla.
Of a working class immigrant community, and you see unmarked cars roll into your community, people getting out of those cars with no identifiers that they are law enforcement, and literally not just detaining, in your mind, maybe kidnapping. So that's why Senator Booker and I have this bill.
So if they were kidnapping people, why you ain't buck at them? Yeah. If somebody come in your hood and we got more guns than people. Los Angeles, people got more guns. There's a lot of guns in Los Angeles. If people are coming to your neighborhood, kidnapping people, why haven't I heard stories of you guys busting off at them? Because they're kidnappers. I know progressive liberal people, you want to buy this because this helps your argument, but does it really? That's really what it is? Are you being honest? You really think they came to kidnap you? Really? I've seen some of the people that got picked up. I know Black people notoriously, we have been considered not good bargaining chips. Not good hostages because the government won't spend money to get us back. But I'm just saying, like, how much, when people kidnap people, they typically want a ransom. What do you think the exchange rate is for a 35-year-old non-English speaking Latino undocumented immigrant who I don't know, man. I just want to know the exchange rate. Like, what are they going to trade you for? What are they trying to get? A VCR? Couple old DVDs, a VCR with some old DVDs of McHale's Navy. What are we doing? What would they get? Some beanstalk beans? I don't get it, man.
To require that identification for ICE agents or anybody involved with immigration enforcement. It's for the safety of the officers and agents, as well as safety for the community, and to protect against people exploiting the circumstances, impersonating ICE agents, and getting involved with burglary, theft, kidnapping, sexual assault. And
has that happened? Where are all these things at? I'm not getting reports of all these people pretending to be cops. You know, hey, look, man, like this whole thing here, folks, I got to say this, man. I've known people back in the 90s. I knew a guy who posed as a cop. They used to act like they were cops, DEA agents to rob drug boys. Yeah, that's what they used to do. This has been going on for at least 30 years in the hood. People pretending to be cops, jumping out on people. We seen it. You saw it in, what was it, Training Day with Denzel. Remember that? The whole scene? Macy Gray was like, old punk ass cop. When she figured it out, punk ass, buster ass cop. Show me your badge. You ain't no cop. Punk ass, old buster ass cop. You ain't no cop. Remember that? Give me that warrant. Let me see that warrant. This went and got the people. I'm just saying, like, this is not a new thing. In fact, it's such a thing that's so very much American. There was a show just came out called Drug Beef, Rap Beef, something beef. What is it? Where the whole premise is, it was people posing to be cops. Who knows what I'm talking about? The guy from the show, you know what I'm talking about? Atlanta. My brother from the show Atlanta. It's a show on HBO or Apple or something. Rap Beef? Who knows what I'm talking about? Nah, it's a new joint. It's a new joint. I just saw it. I had to binge the whole joint maybe a month ago. And the whole premise is it's a Latino dude and a black dude who pretend to be cops and rob drug dealers. That's how often this has happened. Like, there are entire Alex Padilla is up here acting like we're under this plague of people pretending to be cops because now we got ICE people that ain't identifying themselves, walking around with their gear showing. But we've always had jump out cops who came in unmarked vehicles in the hood who did the same thing. They've been here for a minute. They know that. Yeah, she was pretty good in it. But anyway, there's a new joint. Y'all, so now y'all got me ticked off, man, because I'm wondering why nobody saw the show I saw. I'm gonna take my time, man. I'm gonna find this because I want to show I know it. Y'all ain't going up here like this old man don't know what he's talking about. I know what I'm talking about. So Atlanta's the name of the star. But it's not Glover, it's the other guy. Atlanta show. And the guy is the dude, Brian Tyree Henry. Yeah, that's it. And Brian Tyree Henry just played in a show. Go as IMDb. Where's was this? Dope Thief, man. There it is, Dope Thief. That's it, it's called Dope Thief. The whole premise of Dope Thief is people pretending to be cops to rob drug dealers. That's the whole premise. They're doing exactly what Alex says. People say this is what's going to happen. That's been happening forever. Didn't they do that in when they that old movie with on the Sunset Strip or something. I don't know. One of the Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor, something, Sidney Poitier, Bill Cosby movie back in the day where they pretended to be cops. I don't know. I'm just saying it's old. It's old as history. It's old as black people's music, like forever. Like it's as old as hip hop. This is not new. But Padilla, Alejandro, fake cops like the dude who unalived those politicians in Minnesota. It's been happening all across this country forever. That's all I'm saying. So this idea that now that we have ICE agents doing it, now it's the end of the world. Man, I'm just saying, man, this is something Black Americans have been dealing with in our neighborhoods and our communities for as long as I've been Black. That's all I'm saying. And now that it may accidentally, like it may touch immigrants, but if these immigrants have lived in Black areas, they know the game. But we always gonna have progressive people, liberals who don't know anything, jump out the gym for things that have been happening to us for 100 years. If it happens to anybody else for 2 seconds, it's the end of days. It's the fascists. And that's why Black people that's why I get upset. That's why some Black people that think like me get so fucking tired of progressives and these liberals, because we've been dealing with this forever. This has been happening in our communities forever. And nobody said shit. And now people that aren't citizens are going through a little taste of it. Here you go. And now it's like, we got to shut down, and how dare they do? And this is unconscious. Where's the humanity? And then we're sitting over here like, what the fucker? What? And then there's people who don't even understand. There are people right now watching me don't understand what I'm even talking about. And if they do understand, they're going to pretend they don't because they got to fight the good fight. Yeah, fam. Yeah. I'm not for everyone. I get it. I'm not for everyone. Don't intend to be. I'm what you call a Democratic Party hater, but when I smell BS, damn it, I smell it. I call it out. I'm sure Sam Cedar and Kyle Kalinske won't be, and they're always available.
Of course.
The president, as you know, says that they wear masks to protect.
Next on deck with.
Yeah. A little late, but never too late.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah, folks, it's just one of the most disgusting things about this whole argument about deportations are how hypocritical it is to have this conversation in front of Black Americans who have been dealing with these conditions for quite some time. I'm not your magical Negro. I'm not supposed to sit here and go, oh my God, please don't treat them that way. It hurt when you treated me that way. And I know the pain they're going through. Oh, boss. Oh, boss. Let the pain go. Now, this ain't Green Mile. My name ain't Michael Clark Duncan, dummy. That was a movie. In real life, people go, walk it off. Like we had to. That's real life. I know. In your make-believe world of lollipop and unicorns and do. I know in your fake world, you don't experience this because you ain't experienced shit. You know, most of these progressive liberals haven't lived this way and seen these things. So you have no call of reference for even what I'm talking about. But that don't stop you from talking. No, it don't. Gotta say something. Gotta get in. Man, if you don't sit your ass down, and the bottom line is, they got a country. They got several countries. People have been telling Black people to go back to Africa after we were kidnapped from it 400 years ago. It's a continent. These people have their own countries. And they left them voluntarily to come here to pick up money and send it back home. And if I say, go back to your country, how dare you say that, Tim Black? You're just divisive. That's just divisive, Tim. Fuck you for thinking it's the same thing. You know it's not. No one's overlooking black people to skipping over Latinos trying to hire blacks. That's not how America works. The closer you are to this sheet of paper, the better you do. All right. I'm just going to move on to the next story because we can stay here all day and I don't want to do that. As I celebrate 200,000 subscribers. Yes, right, Justin. As I celebrate that. In fact, I need a little help with it.
Simply amazing.
Now, that's what I'm talking about, eh? I can rock with that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm not your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Y'all ready? Let's keep it moving, fam. Woo.
Tim Black.
Chicago Public Schools just announced it's laying off more than 1,400 school-based employees. This includes 432 teachers and 677 special ed classroom assistants. CPS says this is part of its annual workforce planning and budgeting process. Historically, the district says more than 80% of impacted employees have secured new positions within CPS prior to the start of the school year. It's not known if the current $734 million budget deficit will impact that rehiring process.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Yeah, man, I've been wondering how Chicago's mayor, St. Robinson, I don't know how he's going to survive. I mean, I thought Lori Lightfoot was the worst you could get until we saw this guy. Yeah, you fell for him. You fell for him, huh? Yeah, this guy's with the gift that's been keep on giving, man. But at some point, he made up his mind. He made up his mind. So, you know what? I'm going to go along with the Democratic Party playbook. Because at first, he was trying to buck. He was like, I can't do it. Boss, I can't do it. Yeah. At one point, but initially, he was like, nah, man, I can't do it. We can't make $1 out of 15 cents. That's what he was saying at first. And then Brandon, he realized, he said, you know what, if I don't do it, I won't have a job, so we'll find a way. And the way to do it was to cut services and resources to, working class Chicagoans. That's how you did it. So, and now the Roosters coming home to roost, man. Chicago was already notorious for closing schools and other shit like that. Like, how do you get away with that? I don't know, man. He survived so far. I guess they couldn't do any recall efforts on him. And every time you hear him, he's like, oh, I gotta stand up. He's another one. He's one of the people that, I'm standing up for black people by standing up for undocumented immigrants. Don't ask me as a black man to disrespect undocumented immigrants. Like, well, just like disrespect them, just don't give our money to them. I mean, if I was in Chicago and that's what I'd be saying, I'd be like, yo, fix these damn roads and keep our schools running. And this, now you got to cut 432 teachers? How could that possibly be good for the kids? And they got a $734 million budget deficit? Was that $734 million? I just want to make sure I'm accurate here. Because that's a lot of millions. Let me see something. Yeah, that's what it was, $734 million. I just want to make sure. Because I remember at the hearings, remember when him and Eric Adams, they had to go in front of the congressional whatever and Senate hearings. And I could have sworn he said it was like $500 million they spent so far on undocumented immigrants. Maybe it was more. I don't know. I don't know how much it was. Looks like it was, looked like a large amount of it. The Chicago public school is now bankrupt. And I know people want to say, no, Tim, don't blame the immigrants. Well, I don't. I blame Biden. That's who you blame. You blame the guy. If you leave a door open and people just wander in, you blame the guy. Why didn't you lock the door? Who would you? That's who you blame. You blame the people that wouldn't lock the door. You know what I'm saying? In this case, they held the door open. So yeah, that's where you go, but that don't mean you get to stay though. Yeah, I know that burns, don't it? You hate the, how can a black man say people can't stay? Is this thing on? Y'all must have never been to Levittown. You never heard of Levittown? It was a town. There's a town in New York. They didn't even let black people move in. Sort of like, just imagine Portland, Oregon. That's all. All right, next, let's keep it moving, man. This is fun. Thank you for being here. Remember, we're celebrating our 200,000 subscriber, passing that threshold. It's been a great time, Johnson. I want to shout out the Tim Black Wolfpack members of the show who have supported this channel with sharing content, with telling friends, supporting it by becoming a VIP member of the show. Damn, you are the best. Thank you for doing that. If you want to become a VIP member, go to jointimblack.com or go to Patreon, Tim's Take Live. If you want to give YouTube a cut of your money, just do it right here on YouTube. Next. What else do we have? What else do we have?
Hiring process.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
What we saw, the conditions that we saw inside this internment camp, which it is nothing less than that description, were really appalling. I'll walk you through just a few of the really egregious, disturbing, disgusting conditions. They are using cages. These detainees are living in cages. The pictures that you've seen don't do it justice. They are essentially packed into cages, wall-to-wall humans, 32 detainees per cage. The only thing inside those cages are their bunk beds, and there are...
You mean they got beds? Okay. Thought you was gonna say they were sleeping on the floor. Something. Okay. So they're at camp. They're at camp. Right? They're in a camp. Okay. Like I don't know, like when you go down, you rent a cabin. Like it's like a cabin. You know, bunk beds. Like, I don't know, I haven't been in a bunk bed since I went to Camp Schmidt. Anybody went to Camp Schmidt? Remember Camp Schmidt? They had bunk bed. Come on, y'all remember Camp Schmidt? You're on the East Coast, you probably been to Camp Schmidt when you was in 5th grade, I think it was. All right. Go on, Debbie Wasserman Snotes. Scumbag, go ahead and tell the rest.
3 tiny toilets that are toilet units.
They had toilets. All right. So they do have toilets. They got 3 toilets. I mean, don't they come from like 5th world countries that don't have toilets and indoor plumbing and things of that nature? Interesting. Let's keep going here, man. This is interesting.
And there are 3 tiny toilets that are toilet units that have a sink attached to it. So
that's kind of standard. I got a feeling Debbie Wasserman is not taking the time to drag her punk ass down to a regular detention center. Yeah, it's kind of standard. It's kind of standard to have toilet with the thing with the. What if she thought this was the Ritz? What do you think this is? What did you? I'm trying to understand. This isn't the Mayflower Hotel. You got a bed with bunk bed, and a toilet with a sink attached to it. If they were separate, someone might take the sink and beat another guy to death. Do you understand what happens in prisons or detention centers? Oh, this is great. Here goes a clip. MSNBC is showing the horrific conditions. Remember, this is MSNBC. This ain't Fox. MSNBC is showing you on one side what she's describing.
They essentially drink, they get their drinking water, and they brush their teeth where they poop.
You mean in the sink, right? Not out the toilet, right? You said it was a sink toilet. Are you saying they're drinking toilet water, or are they drinking out the sink? Fam, I'm confused, man. Cut your volume up so you can hear appropriately. I'm lost. There's a toilet, there's a sink. She's complaining that people are getting water out the sink. What's it? It's not liquid death? It's not life water? It's not, what is it, Aquafina or Dasani? Dasani's horrible. Ugh. It's a Dasani? Well, I get it. If it's Dasani, I get your complaint. I'm just trying to better understand, man. Put in the comment section what I'm missing, y'all. Please elevate the conversation. I need to know.
They get their drinking water and they brush their teeth where they poop in the same unit. They bragged that they went above standards, supposedly, and gave them a 3-foot privacy wall that stretches the length inside the 32 detainee cage. A 3-foot privacy wall that stretches the length of the 3 toilets.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a place I'm gonna want to go hang out, but has she seen the inside of Rikers? I mean, have you seen, like, they can't build a concrete prison. Like, it would take years for a place you put up. That ain't too bad. I don't know, man. I don't know what she was expecting to see. What were you expecting to see here? I'm sorry. Were you expecting chandeliers, fine china, maids with white gloves, and wine being served, an open bar? What were you expecting here, Miss Schwartz? Like, what was it? Soda crackers, coffee, tea, someone giving massages, a yoga class, some hot yoga maybe. What were you expecting, Miss Debbie Wasserman? The fact that Democrats have maintained to keep you around shows you that they suck, because you never was anything ever impressive about Debbie Wasserman's Snopes. Nothing at all. And I just want to be clear here, guys. I've been covering prisons, jails, and cops, all this shit for the past 14 years, right? Better part of 14 years, man. That's pretty good compared to some of the stuff you'll see. Please do a search on the internet for detention centers and jails and look at what you see. That's all I'm saying. Look at what you see. If you got a bunch of privacy, things happen. If it gets too private, Debbie, little Debbie, somebody might get a little handsy. You can't leave. You can't listen. In my experience, there's a reason why they don't let people get too secluded. I mean, the Superdome comes to mind. Those people were just trying to get out the heat. And bad things happen in the Superdome. So, like, you got to be able to keep an eye on people. You got to be able to see them because they're in your custody at this point. You know, see them. Like, if we could have seen Jeffrey Epstein, maybe he wouldn't have been, you know what I'm saying? Get what I'm coming from. I mean, people, please put in the comments. I need to understand this. I know it's something I got to be missing. Don't seem that
Next
bad.
on deck with Tim Black.
I mean, bottom line is, you know, from the day one, I've been doing this job since 1984. Detainees complain about the conditions of detention. And I said this many times. You can simply go to ice.gov and look at the detention standards ICE has. They have the highest detention standards in the industry. But these same congressmen are complaining about alligator Alcatraz. You didn't see them complaining about, under Biden administration, people being held in a Border Patrol parking lot surrounded by a fence in the sweltering heat. Not a word. You didn't hear a word about 500,000 children being trafficked in the country and them not being able to locate 300,000. President Trump, this administration, is finding thousands of those children. So, you know, they have a lot of anger under President Trump on how we're doing business, and they ignored 4 years of open borders, historic migrant death, historic Americans dying from fentanyl, historic numbers of women and children being sex trafficked, historic number of people on terrorist watch lists coming across the border. Silence. Silence. Because they're complicit because they didn't take the administration on and ask them to secure the border. You can't have strong national security in this country if we don't have border security. We got to know who's coming and what's coming, where it's coming. But instead, they kept silent and they kept feeding the American people. We have a secure border, and we did not.
Next on deck with
Yeah, you know, man, Holman has been been around for a long time, worked with Obama, worked under Obama, worked under Trump again here in his current administration. And that's a straight shooter. You might not like what he's shooting, but he's shooting it straight to you. And the conditions under Obama's reign were much different. You know, I got people that are so locked in, man, that's saying Trump's the Antichrist. They don't realize America's been pretty much garbage for a long time, particularly on this issue. I mean, our immigration reform has been needed forever, and people don't want to reform it because, you know, money in trying to win elections. But I get ticked off because, first of all, I'm advocating for Black Americans to get a slice of the pie in America. So sue me, I'm already an odd man out. I'm looking at the numbers, but people keep saying that Trump is mass deportations, mass. How unfeeling, how inhumane, how barbaric, how draconian, how vicious, Hitler style. I hear all this, and I look, I say, well, he's been deporting 14,000 people a month since February. Like, damn, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Johnson, that's a lot of people. Then I compare it to Obama. He was deporting, his highest points, he was deporting 36,000 people a month. I don't know if people realize it, but 36 is a lot more than 14. And guess what I didn't see when he was doing it? Because I was doing this then. I didn't see y'all complain about it. Just like I didn't complain about people living as Holman pointed out, in the heat, in a tent, on the concrete. They got a bunk in a sheltered environment. You're still complaining. But when it was tents on concrete, people were quiet. And it was almost 3 times as many people getting deported. And I know Trump's got all this talk and it's all this focus on it, but remember, that's the media. They're the ones saying this, oh, it's historic, these numbers, oh my God, it's disgusting, all these people getting thrown. It's like, well, hold on, man. How the hell did Obama put out 36,000 people a month and all of them was criminals? They weren't. That's why he tried to save his face by doing DACA, to help the children of the parents he deported. See, these people don't want to keep it real. It's as if you can't have an honest conversation with them because they don't know. First of all, they don't know anything because they watch MSNBC and CNN. They never decide, hey, maybe I should look beyond that. Maybe I should look at some other sources. They listen to people like Jasmine Crockett talk about, well, if it wasn't for them, how are we going to open the farms? And then I do a little research. I'm like, what? Only 40% of farm workers, national average is 40% of the farm workers are undocumented. But that still leaves 60% that are either documented or U.S. citizens. They're not even half, and that's the biggest industry you'll find them, and that's true. But there are Americans that work the other jobs. Like, there is no job industry that's totally controlled by undocumented immigrants. Not a single one. The largest industry is farming, but even then, it's not even half. So this idea that all the farms going to go away, all the farms going to go away. It's like, well, if all the farms go away because you weren't employing any Americans, you need to go away. Now, what's going to happen is, if you are a person who's documented, remember, there are a lot of Latinos who are American citizens. Guess what's going to happen for them? Well, they're going to be able to demand higher pay, aren't they? Yeah, all of a sudden, see, everybody's focused on the negative. No one's talking about the positive. So let's say in the construction industry, for instance, they were employing people that couldn't really complain about treatment or hours or pay. Now they got to employ people that can't complain and people that have the ability to say no. Guess what you got to do? You got to pay those people. What about feeling good about all the Americans who paid into this system getting decent pay? I don't hear all these people, I'm not hearing the rising. Yeah, I'm not hearing the rising. I ain't hearing Sanger and whatever, what's the name? I forget the name. I don't listen to him like that, but I got a feeling, my spidey senses are telling me that the crystal ball is broken. We ain't doing much fortune telling. And they ain't talking about all the Americans who are getting better pay now because of this. Get what I'm saying? Like, those people paid into a system. And they continue to pay in a system. And they've been locked out of certain industries there's a percentage of Black Americans who have been locked out of certain industries because they rather hire people that are bilingual. They rather hire people that speak Spanish. And since we speak Spanish the least, that kind of sucks for us, don't it? Now, I guess if you're not Black and you speak Spanish, you might care less what I'm saying. I'll be honest, man, I took Spanish for 3 years, and I'm still poquito español. Hablo poquito español. And I got no accent to speak of. I can roll my R's a little bit. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm just pointing out some things that you won't hear on your cable news media. Okay? Here goes the number. I like to leave you with two numbers before we move on. The first number is 8. The second number is 40? The 44? Yeah, that's 8 and 44. No, 8 and 34. I'm sorry, 8 and 34. 8 is the percentage of Black Americans that live in Los Angeles, LA, under Mayor Karen Bass. 34 is the percentage of Black Americans who are homeless, of the homeless rate in California. So in a city like LA, where Mayor Karen Bass can give out money to undocumented people who are afraid they might get deported if they don't want to go outside their house because of ICE, we got Black Americans who are 8% of the population, but 34% of the homeless rate. And we're 50% of homeless families. Yeah, I kind of have a leg to stand on. I know you don't like I have a leg to stand on. I know you want to, but I do. So for the people that know what I'm talking about, the people that appreciate this channel for providing such information, you're welcome. Let's keep going, man.
Tim Black.
What's wrong?
Daddy's going to do crack.
What?
Daddy's going to do crack.
He what?
He's going to do crack.
Are you serious? Daddy!
Next.
I don't know why I included that. I just thought it was hilarious. Yeah, man, we got to stop the division. There you thought it was just me. That dad called his daughter a Democrat. How bad is it when you're a kid and that's the worst thing you could be called?
What's wrong?
Daddy's going to do crack.
What?
Oh, a Democrat.
Daddy's going to do crack.
He what?
He's going to do crack.
Oh, sweetheart, don't worry about it. You're a MAGA. That means I'm a deplorable. Hillary Clinton said I was deplorable. All right, guys. Fun times here on the Tim Black Show. We always try to give you the best in programming. Keep people tuned into the hip-hop, bebop of the Tim Black Show. Yeah, it's what it is. How my people doing in the comment section? Everybody okay? That's terrifying. Daddy want me to do crack. Oh, Katrina says she knows an insult when she hears one. I'm trying to tell you, man, I thought that was hilarious, man. Yeah. Democrats. That's hard, man. It's harsh. I got one last segment. I guess we'll do it because we got time, Johnson. I said we got time, Johnson. Let me just remind everybody, hit the like button for the algorithm. That's right, folks. The algorithm is important to feed that damn algorithm. That algorithm is greedy. And YouTube's got to know that this channel's worth promoting in its algorithm. Part of the way we let them know that is you hit the like button. My haters don't like it, so do it twice. Next.
Judge just moments ago found that the Department of Homeland Security has been making arrests in Los Angeles immigration raids without probable cause. So she is ordering the department to stop detaining individuals based solely on race, spoken language, or occupation. This is a major decision for the state of California, which has been at the epicenter of a lot of these immigration raids in the last couple of days. And it also comes after the Trump administration has explicitly said that those are the reasons that they might stop and detain, actually arrest people just because they're working at a Home Depot, maybe because they are speaking Spanish, or because they look like they are undocumented. What do you think?
So what the judge, really took the government to task. What I'm quoting, what the federal government would have this court believe in the face of a mountain of evidence presented in this case is that none of this is actually happening. None of what you just described is actually happening. So she basically is calling the government lawyers liars, which when you're an attorney is the worst thing that could happen to you. And she's basically saying there needs to be more due process before you could carry out the acts that you're carrying out. And you can't come and tell me, oh, we're not doing that, because there's quote unquote a mountain of evidence that shows that you are doing it.
Holman was on Fox News this morning and said as much, exactly what this was about, and said that we're going after people who look like criminals. Mm-hmm. That could be me. I'm brown, and if I'm not wearing my nice sports coat, I'll look kind of shady. That's not how America's supposed to be built up.
You look like a Chuck. Look, the Latino Vote podcast. Yeah. Chuck, bruh, if you weren't wearing that hat, I think you was just a white guy. I mean, right? Am I tripping? They're like a white guy to me. I don't know. That's what I think. I don't know. You need other distinguishing features like, playing samba music or
evidence that shows that you are doing.
Holman was on Fox News this morning and said as much, exactly what this was about, and said that we're going after people who look like criminals. That could be me. I'm brown, and if I'm not wearing my nice sports coat, I'll look kind of shady. That's not how America's supposed to be built. I'll also need to say that after this raid yesterday, that there was a farm worker. We don't know yet their documentation status, but they died. They died because they were getting chased through the fields. Folks who are picking our food. We should be disgusted by this.
Well, look, what you're talking about.
Somebody died.
I mean, I have heard and know people who've had experiences in parts of the country where they are American citizens, and because they are of Hispanic origin and or speak Spanish, have been stopped and have had their citizenship questioned.
How would you know they speak Spanish? I'm just saying, how would you know somebody speaks Spanish if they're in their car? Or is it because the cops came up to the cars, they pulled him over, and you were speaking Spanish to the cop?
In this case, the consequences are not just questioning. ICE is detaining people, and in this lawsuit, one of the allegations was that some of the people were being denied counsel, that they're not being given an opportunity promptly to prove that they shouldn't be detained. And that's essentially the crux of the matter here.
Yeah, look, the goal should be to arrest and deport illegal immigrants. I mean, again, this is a clash between, I think, some federal judges and who want to slow down the administration that wants to move fast on this. The goal should always be to deport people who've broken our laws. Politically, I mean, Arthur's the lawyer, but politically what the administration's trying to do is fulfill the president's campaign promise that he ran on and won, which was, look, I'm going to end this crisis. I am going to take care of this problem. Nobody wants to deal with it. I'm going to deal with it. In the case of this California raid everybody's talking about, and you said pick our food. I mean, wasn't it a marijuana farm, and weren't there illegal child migrants there, like child labor? I mean,
that's fucked up, man. That's horrible. Chuck, for real, son, that's what we're doing. You leaving out that raid you're talking about, where they had the underage kids who should not be working there, working in the fields, in illegal crop, basically drug dealing. Come on, man. That's what you're talking about. And the guy didn't get shot. They fell out because they were in no condition to be trying to run. And they were running. Why? Because they were doing illegal shit. And look at him. Not a bit of remorse on his face. Look at him. Oh, shit, you caught me. Looks very guilty there.
The feds go interrupt a marijuana farm with illegal child labor and people are upset about it. I mean, look, I think there's two sides to this story. Some of this aggressive enforcement may be warranted.
So let me just add a little bit of detail to what we're talking about here. I mean, this raid in California at two different ones.
It's making the Democrats look too bad. Let me jump in here real quick and I'll clean this up. I didn't see a need to jump in earlier when Rocha was leaving out important shit, but now that Jennings has decided to score a couple points, let me get in here and try to even the score. And that's what happens all the time, man. People are like, Tim, why do you like Scott Jennings? He's white. Yeah, I know. But he's conservative white. Yeah, I know. But he's an asshole. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's right about a lot of shit. Not everything. He's right about this.
That really resulted in a lot of violence. One person was killed, several others critically injured, according to the United Farm Workers. Let me just read for you, actually, do I have their statement? Yes, let me read for you their statement. It says, the UFW can confirm farm workers were critically injured yesterday in the chaotic raids in Ventura County. Others, including U.S. citizens, remain totally unaccounted for. Many workers, including U.S. citizens, were held by federal authorities at the farm for 8 hours or more. U.S. citizen workers report report only being released after they were forced to delete photos and videos of the raid from their phones. NBC actually talked to one of those individuals who was a supervisor at this farm, and who said that they were assaulted and handcuffed when he asked ICE agents for an arrest warrant. As for the children, I don't know that we've really confirmed their status, documented or not, but a lot of people don't know. It's true that in agriculture in this country, it is legal for children to work there, children sometimes as young as 12. So that's the exception that the agricultural industry has. And if these children were undocumented, it just goes to show the economics of this.
Yes.
Which we've talked about before. The economics of this have been to the benefit of the agricultural industry, of the meatpacking industry, of these other industries. And the people who are being chased around in the fields really they're the only ones facing consequences from this.
And that's what I wonder, like the people who are employing some of these undocumented immigrants are not getting prosecuted. Moreover, marijuana is legal in the state of California, so we shouldn't present that like it's something nefarious. I take issue with a little something you said, Chuck. You said without your jacket, or without your hat, you might look shady. Shady to whom? Who gets to decide who looks shady? That is precisely my point.
That was my point.
So the fact that we are even discussing as though it is a normal thing for a government agency to kidnap people without due process. If this person is not a citizen, then nor am I. Who is to stop somebody from coming to grab me and say, well, we don't think you're a citizen?
Yeah, come get her, please. Please go get her, please. Put her in one of those concentration camps she keeps on blabbering about. Come get her right now. Please. I think she's a Latina. Come get her. Don't let her accent fool you. She's an unemployed Latina dealing propaganda and marijuanas.
I don't have due process. My friend Elsa, her son is born here in America. He was detained by ICE. And when you look at the crime overall, undocumented immigrants are the least likely to commit crime. That is.
They do, though. People do. People commit crimes, Tiffany. All types of people commit crimes, Tiffany.
It's been well documented by our own law enforcement agents.
If people are undocumented and you don't know who they are and then living in the shadows, how are you going to know they committed a crime? So of crimes that people are prosecuted for and you caught the person, of them, you'll say not as many are undocumented. Maybe they're just good at running. I don't know. But we really don't know. Like most crimes in the U.S. go unsolved. So who really knows? That's a dumb argument. It doesn't prove anything. And frankly, it only takes somebody hurting my family one time. I don't give a shit who they are.
And this sets a dangerous precedent. CNN's own reporting has cited at least 3 incidents of people dressing as ICE agents and attempting to kidnap people. And once we say this is okay, because it's not going to stop until some white girl gets confiscated or some white girl gets kidnapped, then all of a sudden the lives of really.
What about you? What if they got your ass? What if they got you? Well, yes, but she's Latina. Come get her.
Matter, then we'll say, oh, it's a problem, but you've already told these agencies they can act like that. We've seen people kidnapped from hospital beds.
Kidnapped. Man, Scott, please get her on this kidnap BS. She got to stop using the terms kidnaps and concentration camps. Because if that's the case, they've been kidnapping black people forever in this country. This never stopped. You know, I can name a lot of times, I knew a lot of people that got picked up by cops and were detained. That happens. Happens all through my 20s and my early 30s. I ain't hanging out with y'all no more. Time I turn around, the cops are trying to kidnap and detain us. They're trying to kidnap us and put us in concentration camps, Johnson. All right, so you can't say that because that's divisive to talk about your life experience.
We've seen mothers who are the sole caregivers for children's cancer get killed.
She got the same talking points. I've been hearing these talking points. There was a mom who was a cancer patient who was illegal, undocumented. She wanted to keep her child with her, didn't trust to leave the child. The child is a U.S. citizen. Child could have stayed, but she didn't want the child to stay here with the dad who was also a U.S. citizen. She wanted to take the child with her. And what does Tiffany call it? They deported a U.S. citizen. Yeah, that's only because mom gets to make the decision, not the child. Scott, get her.
Kidnapped. It is not okay. It's like we're waiting for this administration to cross some invisible line into fascism that has been crossed a long time ago.
I think President Trump's goal and what he campaigned on and what he would like to achieve in an idealistic world is finding the people who are here illegally, especially the ones who are committing crimes or have committed crimes, whether in the United States of America or in their home countries, and eliminating them. He's a New Yorker, Donald Trump. We're in a kitchen. He knows who controls the kitchens in the back of the best restaurants in the city of New York. A lot of undocumented people. He has said on the record already that in the fields and in agriculture, we need a lot of these people. These people disappear, we're in trouble.
Why does Tiffany like she's about to cry? I mean, I'm trying to tell you, man, like there are these countries in Latin America, fam. There are many Latin American countries that are open for business, and they would really love to have you come be an activist there. That's what she should do. Her and Angela Rye, these people need to surely consider moving to one of these countries, Guatemala, Mexico, El Salvador, I don't know. Go to some of these countries and assist them. They could truly appreciate it. They really would. I'm pretty sure they would be very, very happy to have you be a champion for those people. Or you can stay here and help black people. You could do that, but I doubt you'd be about to cry. I doubt that. Because if you stayed here, you might have to help black men. And we know how you feel about black men, Tiffany. We know how you feel. Because you've had nothing but harsh words to say about them, unless it's Dr. Jason Johnson, the cuck of the month. Let's keep going here, Johnson. Yeah. Feeling kind of punchy. I told you guys we got 200,000 subscribers. So I'm feeling kind of, I'm smelling myself a little bit, feeling a little loose. Let's listen to some more of the, I'm still waiting to see if Scott Jennings smack down some of this BS. This kidnapping and concentration camps, and that everybody's being rounded up and kidnapped.
Back, I mean, they have walked some of that back. And I would also add that that's not what Trump is doing. He is arresting people. By some accounts, maybe more than half of the people that have been detained by ICE so far that have no criminal record.
Numbers that the government's putting out is 70% of the people that have been detained have had warrants or have been had charges. 70% is the number that I got. Now, I don't know the number when she got 50%, what jurisdiction, what city, what state she's talking about, but my number was 70. 70.
So that we know that that's happening. And just on the politics of this for a second, the Gallup had a pretty blockbuster poll today because they've been looking at this issue obviously for a very long time, and they have some comparative data. And what they have found is that Trump has not made immigration less popular. He's not made a pathway of citizenship less popular. He's made them more popular. So now 78% of Americans say they support a pathway to citizenship for immigrants who are here illegally. That's up 7 points from last year. Now, Americans say they want more immigration, not less immigration. Now, Americans say they want less border patrol agents, not more.
But is that legal immigration or illegal immigration?
What are you talking about?
It's a pathway to
hold on.
citizenship.
Let me read it again. 70% back a year ago supported a pathway to citizenship for immigrants who are in the U.S. illegally. That number is now 78%.
But does that mean put them at the front of the line or the back of the line? Do they have to?
There ain't no line.
Hey,
There just ain't no line.
You can decide.
Because there are people trying to come here illegally. They came here illegally.
Hold on a second. You can decide whether it's the front of the line or the back of the line.
It matters.
I think Yeah, but the point is, Donald Trump is basically carrying out a policy that says any individual who is here illegally, in an undocumented status, is liable to be detained and deported. Some of them with process, some of them without. And a majority of Americans, almost 80%, say we should give them a path to citizenship.
Look, I think it depends on how you ask these questions.
I mean, this question has been asked the same way. That's the reason I want to use this poll, is because this question has been asked the same way over time. And that's one of the only ways that we can make sure that we're looking at the same thing over time.
But I think there's a difference between people who came here illegally, broke the law, knowingly did that, versus people who want to legally come here and are going through the process that does take a long time. I don't know why you would take a population that broke the laws and put them at the front instead of putting them behind people who are trying to follow the correct process. Regarding more immigration, I think most Americans are fine with immigration. Legal immigration. Legal immigration, illegal immigration, and the chaos that's come from it from the last 4 years, that's what they have a problem.
Let me break down some of these numbers for you. We're doing focus groups in battleground states right now, asking this exact same question. What we're seeing almost overall is there's a group of folks who, when you ask them, do you think that undocumented immigrants who commit crime should be deported? And everybody, Democrats, independents, everybody's like, sure, as long as there's some process and they're here and they broke the law, absolutely. What they're really recoiling from, and what you're seeing in this poll and I'm seeing in focus groups, are Jose down the street who's been here for 20 years, or somebody that's picking your food, or somebody who did come here, quote unquote, undocumented or illegal.
I'm so tired of hearing about this picking the fruit shit. I'm so tired of hearing this trope that these people are just picking fruit. First of all, it's disrespectful as hell. You know, disrespectful as hell. Like, people's main goal, their ambition in life is to come to America to pick fruit. Yeah, people travel miles and miles and miles and miles and miles to just become farm workers. I don't think so, Johnson. That's stupid. Because stay in Mexico and pick fruit. They got crops in Mexico. Stop saying that shit. Scott did a decent job. I'm against it. I'm against it because I'm advocating for Black Americans, and Black Americans do not need to compete against new immigrants who are they're overlooking Black Americans to employ new immigrants. That's a problem. I don't see how you advocate for Black America and advocate for that at the same time. There is not going to be a bargaining, a middle ground, nothing. Either or. People should have to be either or on that topic. It's fine to not be on that topic. It's fine to to disagree. But don't pretend to be advocating for Black Americans. Say, I agree, that you advocate for Latinos above Black Americans. Admit it, because that's what you're doing. Because if you're going to take money out of our communities to take care of undocumented people who were not born and raised in this country, that to me is a problem. You have made it very clear that that's more important to you than the plight of Black Americans. What's been going on with Black Americans? So just own it. If I can own my statement, if I can own my stance, why come y'all can't own y'all stance? Why y'all get to be pussyfooting around, act like you're the only one that has any moral? I do have morals, and those morals are to the most discriminated against group in this country that did not get casinos, that did not get employment health organization that prioritizes their health care like the Native Americans did. Okay, so I'm standing in the gap for Black Americans. People like Tiffany Cross in her podcast and her friends, they talk as if they're the chief advocates for Black Americans. But you can't be a chief advocate for Black Americans and support this immigration in the form that it is in now. You just can't. Just admit what you stand for, what you are for. That's all I'm saying. And I got no problem with that. Look, man, there are people out here trying to cure cancer. There's other people trying to cure dementia. We ain't got, you know what I'm saying? I get it. We ain't all got to support the same causes. But just admit you're not supporting the cause I'm supporting. I can admit I'm not supporting your cause. I got a problem with people that try to act like they are at the same time. You can't support McDonald's franchises and you can't support Kool-Aid with extra sugar and fighting diabetes at the same time. You just can't do it, Johnson. Can't do it. Got to be one or the other. It's either diet, it's either spring water, you know, or come on, Johnson. Come on now. We gonna call it thing and thing, or we gonna keep it real. You made your decision. Live with it. I can. I have.
Who they didn't say, I didn't sign up for this. And you don't see a giant movement. You're seeing a movement over time now since the first of the year. A movement about 10 points in the stuff that we're doing.
Well, I can say, man, Chuck made the right decision. I remember back when he used to go on Rising. He was less leaning into his Latino. He wasn't doing a Latino vote. Someone said, you need to do Latino vote. Get the votes. Get your money up. So I applied him on that, man. It's kind of bogus not to mention that was a marijuana farm the children were working at. But I also didn't know that children could work at those farms. I wonder what kind of children they're thinking that are working at those farms in California. Yeah. The bunny hole goes deep, don't it? Damn, they that cold-blooded, man. They made a law that you could be as young as 12 to work on the farms in California. I wonder what white kids, well-to-do white kids, parents are allowing their 12-year-olds to go work in the farms in the sun. Just thought I'd throw that out there. All right. Let's go to comment section, fam. Let's see what we got. You know how it is. What's up with the cowboy hat and goofy glasses, dude? Well, he said, you know, he said the ICE people be after him when he's dressed like that. You know, he said ICE be coming to get him. Robert Jackson says that California is messed up. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's built on exploiting the hell out of them. And for some reason, that's supposed to be okay. You know, and what's behind that? It's got to be corporations. Got to be corporations with deep pockets behind the exploitation of these people to the benefit of those corporations. Then people then they come out and say, well, we need to do something about the corporations. Yeah, but are you going to, though? You're not going to. I say deport the corporations. How about that? How about we wind up the execs and deport them? Good times. Yeah, I didn't know underage children could work anywhere in the States. Well, you could work with like a work permit at like 15, I think it is. 15 or 16 in like Maryland state. But you got to have a work permit. But as young as 12 on farms? I don't know. Hey, man, you learn something every day. I had no idea either, my friend. Yeah. Kip DR says they're lying. 60% support deporting illegals. Yeah, I don't know what the numbers are. Redeemable says polls are so believable. Like I say, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, maybe the poll is right. I'm not going to say it's wrong. I don't know the sample size. I don't know who was polled. But there could be people that feel that way. Chuck said it was in swing states. And maybe those are sanctuary states. I don't know. Well, sanctuary cities. There's no sanctuary states. I don't know. Who knows? I'm good here, fam. Nobody remembers when Reagan gave illegals amnesty. There you go, Buck. Tell it, Buck. Yeah. No one is immigrating elsewhere. Toby says, I believe Tim Black's research. Yeah, fam, you can double check it. Always, I welcome the double checks. And I also welcome those that do research and provide, you know, help me with the research as well. I got great people, man, that chip in on that regard. So Dope stuff, man, when I get help. Wow. It is crazy, family. It's crazy. But look, this is a Tim Black Show. I appreciate you all. Thank you for supporting this channel. It's been a hell of a ride. The ride continues. We're going to keep doing what we do. Thank you to the Tim Black Wolfpack in the building. You guys are amazing. You know what I mean?
Simply amazing.
Now, that's what I'm talking about, eh? I can rock with that.
Yes, Johnson. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Jorge. Man, what's up, Jorge, man? You know what, though, Johnson? The few times, I've been on TV a few times, right? And that was the first thing I got when I went on, anyway, they have makeup artists you got to go see before you go on the camera, right? So, you know, maybe they got a new person doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like what everybody does. Everybody you see on TV got on makeup. Everybody. It's like standard. And like, you know, because people are looking at you. Lord knows I need help. Fix this ugly mug. I got a face for TV, for radio. Yeah, I got a face for radio. I ain't gonna lie to you. For podcasting. But that's okay though. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay. I've accepted that. I had to grow into it. Grow into accepting it. Look, man, I got nothing but love for y'all. Remember, like I always say, don't let anybody take your cornbread. Keep your cornbread. Shout out to the Tim Black Wolfpack. Shout out to my moderators, the one and only Ebony, Black Mamba, and Buck Bewley for doing what they do. I'm still working on the idea of how we're going to officially celebrate this monumental accomplishment of 200,000 subscribers. I'd like to thank all of the channels that helped me get here. I'd like to thank all of the commentators. I'd like to thank all those progressive commentators that had my back and supported me as I fought to provide for my family and build something that would last, last time and grow. We thank those commentators, those progressive commentators, such as but for those that have my back, you know who you are. Number love for you. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Tim Black Show. Holding it down with the vengeance, fam. That's right. All right. Remember, like I always say, don't let anybody take your cornbread. Keep your cornbread in your pocket. And if you got to put it in your front pocket, maybe that's safer. Put it in your front pocket. That way, if they pick your pockets, you'll know. All right. That's it. I got number love for y'all. Shout out to my people, my people, my people. You know, as always, what would I be if I didn't say my closer? Where are my girls? Oh, where are my ladies? Yeah, where are my ladies? Damn. Everybody needs a reason why, and here goes mine. Wolfpack.